Hello everyone, welcome. In today's tutorial we are going to be working through, I named this the Pebble Pathways stitch. I don't know if there's a name for it, but these are just like mini, they're textured stitches. They're not bobbles or anything, they're just textured stitches. And I just created them in an alternating diagonal pathway. So I named it the Pebble Pathways just for something easy to remember. And it is part of the Adventure Blanket Crochet Along. If you're following along with that, I will give you the stitch count and everything. If you're just using this for something to add to your project, you can do that as well. For those that don't know me, I am Christine from Ambassador Crochet, and I will be working through this tutorial with you today. Okay, so for the Pebble Pathways stitch pattern, we are going to work in multiples of 7. So I think for this, I want to do a couple repeats. I don't want to just do, like 14. I'd like to do multiple repeats so that you can actually see the pattern unfold. So I think what I'll do is I'll do 28 chain. Okay, so now I did chain 28. I'm going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across. Okay, when you get to the end of the row, you are going to chain 1 and turn. Now, single crochet in the very first stitch, and now you're going to work a treble in the next stitch. So if you don't know a treble, if you're fairly new to crochet, a treble is just you yarn over twice. So now I have 3 loops on the hook. I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now I have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And that's your treble. And then you're going to single crochet again, treble one more time, and then you're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I just want to show you. So if you look, this is the side we're working on. Those trebles will automatically go to the back, and that's what you want. This will be the front of your work. So right now this is the wrong side of the work, and this will be the right side. And so this is the repeat. We're going to have a treble, single crochet, treble, and 4 single crochets. And that will be your repeat, treble, 4 single. Okay, so we did 1 repeat. So now let's do another treble. Single crochet, treble, and then work 4 single crochet. So we have 1, 2, and then we'll repeat that one more time. I'm just going to single crochet in this last stitch. I don't want an exact number across because these are going to angle and they're going to work themselves across. So this is your wrong side. This is the right side of your work, and this is what it would look like. Okay. And you can really do this in any number of stitches. And the only clause that I have to this is, so technically this next stitch should have been a treble. You don't want to end in a treble. It's a lot harder to work into, and it doesn't have the same stitch definition coming back if you don't have a single crochet after it. So if there's ever a treble on the end, just make it a single crochet. Don't work a treble into it. Okay, so now we're going to chain one and turn, and then we're going to just single crochet in each stitch all the way across. Okay, so this is the end of this row, the single crochet row. And we have our treble sections, and then we have the 4 single crochet in between each one. Okay, so now for the next row, what we're going to do is chain one and turn. And so for the last treble row, the last repeat row, we started with 1 single crochet, and then we started with the repeat section, which was treble, 4 single. So because the last row started with 1 single crochet, this row is going to start with 2 single crochet. So we're going to work 1, 2 single crochet, and then we're going to start the repeats. So yarn over twice, work the treble here, single crochet, another treble, and then work the 4 single crochet. And then you're going to repeat that all the way across. And what you might want to do until you get the hang of it, and even when I was working the adventure blanket, I would just stop sometimes and just look and make sure what you want is it at an angle. You don't want it directly underneath. So just randomly check and make sure you're still going in the right direction. Okay, we get to the end of this row. I'm going to turn, and now you can see the pattern starting to form where all the pebbles are going this way at an angle. And I'm going to work one more row of single crochet. All right, so now let's just, the repeat row is always going to be the same. It's going to be a treble, treble, 4 single. The only thing that's going to change is this beginning stitch. So we did 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. This is going to be 3 single crochet. I almost kept going. And then we're going to treble, single, treble, and then 4 single. Okay, and then just single crochet in the remaining stitches. Chain 1 and turn. Okay, so now we have 3 of the repeats done. Now we're going to work another single crochet row. All right, so now we have 3 repeats done, right? So we had 1 single crochet before the repeat, 2, 3, this one's going to be 4. Okay, so we did 4 single crochet, and then you start your repeats, treble, single, treble, and then 4 single, and then repeat that across. Okay, again, make sure this row, it doesn't have it, but make sure you're not ending with a treble. You don't want that. You want to make sure there's at least 1 single crochet after the treble. So if you ever get to the end of a row where you can't do that treble, stop it before it. Okay, and we're going to chain 1, and we can see the pattern starting to form. I'll do a few more rows because I want to show you what happens when you have to add some over here and drop some over here. So I'm going to do a couple more rows just to get you started on that, even though the rest of it is pretty easy and self-explanatory. Okay, so we did a chain 1, single crochet, okay, chain 1. So now this one should be 5. And the reason it's 5 is because you could do a treble here. You can't do a treble on the end one because you need the single crochet to hold it down and make it puffy. You could do a treble here. The reason I didn't when I wrote the pattern is because if you're doing anything with a border, it's easier to work into a single crochet than like a puffed treble, and I just didn't want it to mess up the look of the treble if you're working a border. So I did one more row with single crochet. So we're going to do a 5 single crochet here. And then we get into the repeats. We do treble, single, treble, and then 4 single crochet. And work that across. Okay, now we're going to do treble. When you get to the end, treble, single, treble. That is not. And then single crochet in the last one, and then turn. Okay, so now we're going to add, on this row, we're going to add one in here, and we're going to drop one here, and I'll show you how on the next repeat. But first we have to do the single crochet across. All right, so now we're back at the beginning. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the first row, and we're going to do 1, and then the repeat, and then 4. And then these will match up where they were, and you'll just start adding a new one to it. Okay, so we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do 1 treble, and then 4 single crochet, and then you're going to do a treble, single, treble. So now we're back into those repeats. One, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do treble, single, treble, 4, okay, now that we're at the end, what we're going to do is we're going to work. So I have, for this one, I have 3 stitches left. Okay. Now the 3 stitches should be, they should be treble, single, treble. When I get to the end for this row, I don't want a treble in that last stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work a treble, and then a single crochet, and then where that last treble should be, I'm going to just work another single crochet. Chain 1, turn, and this is your new row. So you have 1, which would be like the right side of this Pebble Pathways, so it's almost like it's creeping in. So you have the right side that has shown up here, and then you have the right side that dropped off here on this end. Okay, so I'm going to do another row of single crochet, and then I'm going to do another row of these, and then you'll see, you'll see it better as it takes shape and forms. Okay, now this is your preference. It should be treble, single crochet, treble. If you're putting a border, you may or may not want, see how I left a space here so that there wouldn't be, the treble wouldn't be right up against the border. I will show you on this row what it looks like just so you can decide if you want to add that treble in or wait one more row where it would be in the second stitch over. Okay, so I will show you what it looks like right up against the outside. And again, you can do it on the beginning of the row. You can't do it on the end of the row because you need that single crochet to hold it down and give it the texture. I'm gonna do treble, single crochet, treble, and then the 4. Okay, and let's look and see what that looks like. So now you have your 2 there, and it's right up against the edge. Now, I suppose you could get a border in there and still have that, you know, if that doesn't bother you, if that's not going to deter away from the border or take away from the border at all, you could do that. Okay, let's just work across one more row so you can get the feel. And then it just becomes habit. You just keep moving it over one stitch every time. So it's not a hard pattern. It's just more of one of those things. You have to pay attention to the beginning and the end, and then the repeats in the center are all the same. Okay, so this is the pattern. Now you have the pattern going. So now the next row, this will move over. And then when you get to the end here, this will drop off because there is one more stitch, but you can't do that treble. Last reminder, you can't do that treble on the end. So this will not be here anymore. So when this moves over, this will just be single crochet all the way across, and you will continue that slant pattern all the way through the repeats. And so the repeats are easy. You just got to remember to move this over one stitch every time, and you can create the Pebbles pathway as well. Again, I am Christine from Ambassador Crochet. This is part of the adventure blanket. I will leave a link to the written tutorial on my blog, as well as all the information for the adventure blanket in the description. I would love for you to subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Thank you.